Hi, Vijay.
Yeah. Hi there.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my screen is visible to you.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. So, welcome to the first day of Selenium training. Okay.
Yeah.
So, maybe you are new to Selenium, or maybe you are working on a Selenium project, or maybe you want to clear interview. Well, we will be going in a very systematic manner and covering each and every aspect of the Selenium. Now, don't worry about your knowledge regarding Selenium, as we will cover each and every topic in a systematic manner. We will learn C Sharp, learn Selenium, and cover each and every aspect of Selenium. Now, to learn Selenium, we have actually got three phases. First of all, you need to understand C Sharp. You need to learn C Sharp.
Oh,
Then next, you need to learn Selenium. And in order to learn Selenium, you must have the knowledge of WebDriver, Grid, and Unit, Jenkins, and lots of other things. When we actually learn while learning Selenium, and don't be afraid of these terms, as I will be telling you each and every topic in detail in the coming classes. And in the end, you have to learn how to build a framework, how an end-to-end framework. Now, there are various types of framework available to us by Selenium, and we will be discussing all of that. Now, there are frameworks like data-driven, hybrid, page object model, spec flow. But the most easiest and the most effective is data-driven. Now, before we actually jump on to training, let us take a few questions which are being asked by many people. So,
okay.
first question is, what is Selenium? Now, if I go to official website of Selenium, which is selenium.dev, they simply write Selenium automates browser. That's it. Which means Selenium is actually used for automating web-based application. And one important thing, it is not at all used for automating the desktop applications. This is a very good and important interview question, that Selenium can automate desktop application or not. And the answer is no. So, as far as browser are concerned, it supports all the browsers. You say Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Internet Explorer. It supports all the browser. Now, as a tester, you must have a knowledge of any programming language in order to learn Selenium. Now, in the training, which you will, in the training, we will cover about 21 modules, which are being listed on our website. And each module contains topics. Okay. And we will cover each and every aspect of Selenium. I simply say that Selenium training will give you an overview about all the topics which are required in order to learn Selenium WebDriver. All topics will cover in the training. So
Okay, so this will include the latest WebDriver version
yeah,
as
yeah,
well as the
yeah,
Selenium.
yeah.
Okay, okay,
I am doing on the Visual Studio 2022, which is the latest
okay.
version. Okay, now another question. Will you cover some live projects and frameworks? Well, live projects is basically a framework, and we will cover all the frameworks in the coming training. It will be an end-to-end implementation on a live application. You will know how to generate reports, how to email the reports in the end, how to add screenshots in the project, how to run test cases on grid, how to implement your test cases on Jenkins server. Everything will be discussed. So
Okay.
next next question is, I want to use Selenium in my project. Can you help? The answer is yes. We will helping out you in your project. We have a team here which can help you. Also, if you look at our site, if you log in, we have a we have a forum which is known as query resolution forum. You can post your query here and we will revert you back. You can post your query here that what type of problem are you facing and we will revert you back. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the
And
next question. Yeah, pardon.
yeah, are we also covering the API testing for this course using C Sharp?
Yeah, we will see in the future classes that we will cover that. But right now I'm just concentration on C sharp because before moving forward, we have you have to get the knowledge of C sharp. And my next question is that how much C sharp is required? In
Yeah.
our first part of training, you can see first of training, we will cover all the C sharp concepts. These are till this module. These all are covering C sharp concepts and which are required to learn Selenium, and it is more than enough. Mostly people which are coming to us to learn Selenium doesn't know C sharp. They are coming from manual background. So don't worry, you will learn C sharp with Selenium. Many people think,
So you are giving the live training, right?
yeah,
So not this course. Okay, okay.
okay. Many people think that they know Selenium, but actually they doesn't know much about Selenium. You have to
Yeah.
know C sharp or any other programming language to learn Selenium WebDriver. You will have to give some time in order to learn. Now, I'm just giving you the overview that I don't want to be rush in the rush mode that I want to doing coding. No, it will then like aeroplane, it goes above your head, then all it goes above your head. So I will move forward very systematically. So moving on to next question, I want to learn Selenium and clear interviews. Well, to learn Selenium, it requires 2 weeks. But if you want to learn professionally and build a project by yourself, it will take 6 to 8 weeks. It take times. After that, you will learn Selenium, but it will take time. We will give you lots of practice exercises for C sharp and Selenium that is going to help you a lot for learning C sharp and Selenium. So, another question, how tough is Selenium? It is very easy, but it requires time. Now, you planted a plant today and also you want fruit same day. It can't be done. Now, how much time required to learn Selenium? I already told you that it will require some time in order to have a brief knowledge of Selenium to clear interviews. The same way the picture shows that it will take time, but if you complete the training, then only you can achieve it. Now, coming to install Visual Studio, I will go to their official site, visualstudio.microsoft.com, and click on downloads. There you can download community version of Visual Studio. This version is free of cost. This is an open source IDE that can be used by you in order to learn C sharp, and this is more than enough for the testing point of view. As I already installed Visual Studio on my computer, so I will just open that.
So I have a Mac, so this will not be a problem, right?
Yeah, no, this is not a problem. Not a problem. They have
Okay.
for the Mac version as well.
Okay.
But I suggest that you should do in Windows, because if you find some errors or find you and want to find some resolution on Google, most of the people answer about the Windows version. You will get stuck in that. It's like I will suggest
Okay.
that you should go for Windows, but it is running in Mac as well. I don't know the version, but it is running. So now there are different types of projects. Okay, console.
Yeah.
We are doing console application, and it is clearly showing that it is using C sharp. Okay, and it is for Windows. It's console application. Click on it, next, and name it as console application one, as we are doing module one, and click next. Now it is using the latest .NET 8.0 long-term support. So click on create, and our project will create in few seconds. So this is how my project looks like. This is the latest Visual Studio 2022. And have you covered any past Visual Studio in C Sharp?
No.
Okay, so there is a big difference between the uh, past Visual Studio and the new one. So right now I'm telling you how to write code for Selenium. I'm not telling you about to write code for Selenium. What I am teaching you is C sharp. First of all, what is C sharp? Basic concepts of C sharp, roots of C sharp, so that it will become easy for you to write Selenium code in C sharp. First, first of all, we cover the basic question. Or the most asked question also in the interview. And question is that why we need to learn n unit, why n unit is required while we're talk about Selenium with C sharp. So to understand this, I will take an example like let us take an example in which Selenium scripts are running. Like you have script 1, script 2, script 3, and script 4. When we work on Selenium project, what are the requirements or what are the basic requirements? Well, you have to read data from Excel file or XML file, okay, and you need to generate reports. You need to generate reports, or you need to schedule your test cases, schedule your test cases, and again, you want to generate some logs. Another important question that what are logs? Now you want to know what happened each and every moment in my framework, or many more requirements are there which can be added in any framework. So logs will help me that what type of code, what type of test case is run at which time. Okay, now you have the script 1, you have the script 2, you have script 3, and you have script 4. And while I'm while we talk about Selenium, when we talk about Selenium, actually we are talking about scripting. We are talking about writing Selenium scripts. Just writing Selenium scripts like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, which will run one after one or just run parallelly, will not serve the process. That is why we have an unit to organize the stuff. But you cannot learn an unit like that. For this, you have to learn C sharp. And an unit is like a heart of a project. Like it will tell to read data from XML or Excel file to generate reports, okay, and to schedule your test cases or make logs, and it also tells that which script to run at which time. It acts as a heart of a body. So it's very important to clear your views regarding an unit. Okay. So coming back to our project, here when you create project and you clearly see that it's program.cs. CS is the extension. By CS we means that C sharp. And you can add as many class as you want by clicking add. You can add class here or new item, which can be anything. So coming back to our code now, what this static void means that it's a very important interview question, that control comes here for the first time. Every time my project starts, control comes here every time for the first time. Okay. Now command to print, which is like learning C sharp. Now, if I run my project, you will see that it is now it it vanishes. Why? Because we have to apply this line so that we can see what is printing on the console. You see, learning C sharp. Okay, remember C sharp is case sensitive. It's a very important interview question, that C sharp is case sensitive or not. Yes, it is case sensitive. Now I can add one more right line and with selenium. Now, if you see that when I run my code, it is printing on the different lines. So to be in the same line, I can write console.write and run my application. You see, it is printing in one line. A difference between console.write and console.write line, that when I write console.write line, it will take a new line. But when I type console.write, it will type on the same line. Okay. Now, in this, we can do debugging. By debugging, I mean that I can apply a breakpoint here. On this gray color, I can apply my breakpoint. By breakpoint, I mean that when I run my application again or can execute my code, you will see that it will come to this line and code will stopped. Then by pressing F10, it can go to next line. Okay, next line by pressing F10. And this is very important in that in a project where you got some error and you don't know where the error is coming, there you can put breakpoint and then you can simply apply breakpoints and debug the code and resolve the error. So if I press F5, my whole code will debug, will run. Now I can apply different breakpoints, multiple breakpoints at any point. Now, when I run my project, you will see that it gets stop at the first breakpoint. Now, when I press F10, it will go line by line. But again, when I run my code again and press now, if I press F5, it will directly go to the next breakpoint, not line by line. So again, it's a very important good interview question that by pressing which key after applying the breakpoint, your project will run fully. This will run the project fully or to next breakpoint, and by pressing F10, this will execute your code line by line. Okay. Now, now we cover some of the data types in C sharp. So for that, I will make a new class and name it as typedata.cs and add it. Okay. Now here I will declare my main method of this class, and now when I write int I equal to 100, what does this mean? This means that there is a memory location whose name is I and value assigned as 100. Means 100 has been stored inside that memory location named as I. I'm again repeating that what does this int I equal to 100 means this is a very important question and very good question which interviewer can ask. What do you mean by int I equal to 100? That this means there is a memory location whose name is sorry I and value assigned as 100, which means 100 has been stored inside the memory. 100 is has been stored inside the memory location named as I. So when I want to print this I can console.write line I. So when I start my project, now it will give error. Why so? Because it is saying that program has more than one entry point defined, that this main method is also here and also here. So it get confused that which file to go first. For that, we have to right click on our console application properties, and here in startup object, we name our file type data as a startup file. Save it again, run it. Okay, again, it vanishes. Why? Because I didn't write console.read key. Be sure that you, in the console application in which you are using console and seeing that what type of element is printing, you have to write console.read key. Okay, now when I run my project, you will see that it type 100. Okay, and make sure that you write it like as it is, not in inverted commas. Okay, now if I will write like this and hold for 1 minute, hold for 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So now when I run my project, and you will see that it will print I, not 100. So make sure that I is, if it is integer, then it is outside the inverted commas. So now if I want to store bigger values, you can say that int r equal to 9999999. So it will give error. It will not store bigger values. So for that, we have data type long. Now you see that error is gone, and it on hover over long, you can see that it represents a 64-bit signed integer and it represents a 32-bit signed integer. So it is also a very good question that int represents 32 bit and long represent 64 bit. These are very small but very good interview questions. Okay. Now both int and long can't store decimal values. If I declare int u equal to 8.9, it will give me an error. So for that, we have double. Okay, double will store the integer values. Now, one more thing, that one data type is more, that which is byte, which is the smallest. It can store small values, like it can represent 8-bit unsigned integer, represents an 8-bit. Now, again, byte is 8-bit. One more data type is there, which is known as char f equal to, can say, any character, but it has to be single, because if I write something another, then it will give error. And represent a character as a UTF-16 code unit, too many characters in a literal. So it can represent only one character. Okay. Now there is one more data type which is known as bool. T equal to true. Either it is true, either it is false, but it cannot be true or false both. But it has to be one of them, and no value can be assigned to this. Okay, that it can be one value, either true or false. Suppose I will write int x equal to 100, then int y equal to 200, and int z equal to 300. Sorry, int z equal to 300. And now I write console dot write line, and here I will type, you can say that first first I will write 4 is less than 7. So what should it give? So for that, I will execute my code. You see, it is printing true, that 4 is less than 7. And this is my conditional operator. By conditional operator, I mean less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to. This we will all cover. Now, there is less than 1 minute, I think so. Yeah. So we will cover one if else statement in tomorrow lecture. And there is one more person with you in tomorrow's lecture. Okay. So,
Okay.
okay. Because I will take more than 2 or 3 person, but not more than 2 or 3 persons. It becomes messy.
Okay.
Okay. So we will meet tomorrow at same time.